every creature, I'm the Pony Fanboy, I fanboy for ponies and you just listen. Welcome back to another Pony Fanboy Reads. Steve really liked the idea of it, so we're doing this just like we intended for it to be a podcast, and my guest for today is Shannon from Shannon Reviews.
Howdy do!
Since Shannon is a fan of Knight Rider, I decided to go through good old fanfiction.net and I dug out a Knight Rider fanfic for us to do.
Oh, interesting.
It is called The Knight Rider of Equestria, and, well, I'm looking forward to hearing about this because I actually know very little about Knight Rider.
Oh, I'm glad that you... And I know very little about My Little Ponies, so this works. You can fill in the gaps for me about MLP, and I can fill in the gaps for you about Knight Rider.
Yay. Alright, sounds good. My name is Michael Knight. And yes, before you say anything, I am related to the same Michael Knight who drove a T-top Trans Am in the 80s and a Shelby GT 500 KR Mustang in the mid-2000s. They are my grandfather and father, respectively, but I have one difference that neither of them nor anyone else on planet Earth has. You see, when I was 3 years old, I went with my parents on a search of some ruins, and as luck found it that where I accidentally opened a secret room in those ruins, and somehow, none of us can explain it to this day, 22 years later, I was bestowed the powers of what I call a wind dragon. I can grow wings and use the wind around me for attacks. It's totally awesome and has come in handy so many times, but enough about my family history. The story is about me, or about my car, when the two of us stumbled into a mysterious and completely random incident that would change our lives. Before I go on, if you don't know about Michael Knight, we all drive cars called Kit, which has AI and a bunch of really cool gadgets that I won't get into detail about. Now, before I tell you the story, I need to tell you that yes, I am a brony, and like a loyal brony, I've watched every episode of MLP to this day. Oh, well, as a Pony fanboy, yeah, right back at you, my man, brohuff. Or so I think. I've been without TV for 3 years, that I don't know if I went to the 4th season or not. So, now to continue to the story about a man and his car and how one brief moment would change the lives of both of them.
The day began like any other day, waking up to Sonic Youth by Crush 40 and having my phone going off 30 times with comments from my Spitfire page that I admin. Yep, things were just great after the government decided to shut down funding for Knight Industries and Flag, of which I work for. The only good thing that came out of that was that I still had enough cash to live on, and I kept the car. So following my usual schedule, I walked into the kitchen and looked on my calendar. It was my birthday that day, so in celebration, I decided to go down to a bakery in Midtown Sacramento and buy myself a cake.
I live near the Sacramento International Airport, so the drive was a pretty long one to get to Midtown. So I walked outside and get into my car and felt something amiss in the breeze. Over the years, I'd gotten to adapt to reading the wind to sort of tell me that I was going to have a good or bad day, but that day, I couldn't read it. It was a jumbled mess of chaos, classic signs of discord if he existed, so I ignored it and drove to that bakery, bought myself that cake and breakfast, and drove home, and what happened on that drive, I'll never be able to explain. The freeway was empty, no exaggerating. There was no other car except for me and Kit, so I did my usual and ignored the speed limit. And then it happened. Right in front of me, a portal opened up, and since I was going 150 miles per hour, I couldn't avoid it and drove straight into it. What happened next, I'll never forget it. I screeched to a halt in a castle, leaving tire marks on the floor that was so clean I could eat off of it until I arrived. I immediately got out, turned around, and there sitting on the throne was Princess Celestia in all of her glory, eyes wide open and mouth agape at the sight of my, 1, arriving unannounced, and 2, leaving tire marks on her floor. I was the first to speak.
Where the heck am I? I don't think I'm on Earth anymore, considering the fact there is a horse that looks like Princess Celestia sitting there on a throne. That's because I am Princess Celestia. Now, who are you? What are you? What is that thing that you just got out of? Says the Princess, still in a complete shock, pointing at my car. This is my car kit. I am a human from Earth, and you can't be Celestia. That's just not possible. Well, it is, and I am Celestia. Why would that not be possible? Because I stopped myself in mid-sentence and realized what has just happened. Apparently that portal that I couldn't avoid was a portal leading me to Equestria, and I was in fact standing in front of Celestia with my car, having left long tire marks on her floor. Never mind, that's not important now. The real importance to me is where Luna, your sister, is. Shouldn't she be with you?
Apparently, she seemed a little upset at that remark, and I soon found out why. One, I don't know how you know Luna, or knew my name, but Luna is now locked on the moon for nearly 1,000 years for trying to bring eternal darkness to Equestria. Oh, I'm sorry, I tell her, and then look down and say so quietly that only I could hear. Great, of all the times I could have arrived, I decided to arrive at the time when Luna was about to break free of the moon as Nightmare Moon. Celestia had regained her composure and looked sternly at me. Now why are you here, and what is that thing you call the car?
To put it bluntly, I don't know why I am here. I was just driving home, a little too fast some might say, and a portal appeared in front of me, and here I am arriving in your castle. I turned to where I entered and see the tire marks I made. I'll clean those up. She doesn't show any emotion, so I'm not sure if she's thinking about how I'm here or how to get rid of me. A portal randomly appearing in front of you? Sounds like Twilight might be up to something. She turns to one of the guards, of whom I didn't even know was there. Go fetch me Twilight's sparkle at once. Yes, Your Majesty.
He leaves in a hurry and returns soon with Twilight. As soon as they enter, I nearly pass out because it is nearly too much for me to take. I am actually living a brony's dream to be in Equestria and see these ponies. A freak of nature, and I am thanking God it happened on my birthday. Twilight speaks a little nervous. You wanted to see me, Princess Celestia? Yes. You were working on experimenting with any portal spells recently today? No, I haven't been working on one. There was one in my book I noticed and was about to try when you summoned. Why do you ask?
Because this thing, a human, he says, entered into my castle and claims to hear right through a portal. And you seem to be the only pony that would be working on a portal spell here. She points at me while still looking at Twilight, a little confused if you ask me. Twilight looks all sorts of confused. One, because she can't understand what I or Kid are, and two, how that could have even been possible for the two of us to arrive here. I'm sorry, Princess, I don't know how that could have happened. She bows in apology. I'm sorry, and I'll put this right.
Now this is where I start to freak out a bit, because I honestly wish for this to happen to me for many years, and now that it has, I don't want it to end. Thankfully though, and again, for reasons I don't understand, she couldn't perform the spell that apparently was the cause of my arrival. I don't understand, I'm doing it correctly. There should have been a portal to take him home right there, but there isn't, Twilight says, confused at the spell, and is looking multiple times in the book to make sure she was doing it correctly. Then all three of us hear a maniacal laugh, one of which that makes me wish I was dreaming. Oh, of course not, you silly fool and foolish princess. I wouldn't want Mike to go back to Earth so soon. I want him here so I could easily kill him, take his power, and overtake the throne. Celestia looks around, confused and angered at her position was just threatened. Who are you? State your business.
The voice only laughs. I heard that you always went straight to the point, and it looks like the rumors were true. I'm not here for you, Tia. I'm here for the little boy standing next to his precious car. I'm here to kill and absorb the power of Michael Knight. Once I'm done with him, you will be next. I'll take your throne and rule over Equestria. Celestia looks down at me. Do you know who this is? Why does she know you? I'm still standing there in shock from seeing the ponies, and now from the voice, but eventually I catch my bearings and respond, trying to keep the fear out of my voice. Her name is Killbeat. She is a flycorn about your size and is definitely powerful. She is able to make your worst nightmares come to life and use them to torture you until she kills you. Before you actually die, she steals all of your power, and it feels like she's stealing your soul. She means what she says. I don't know if I can beat her on my own. I need help. Killbeat laughs again. Oh, are we scared, Mikey? you're going to die today? Well, you should be afraid. I've absorbed the power from many people since you last saw me, and I'm stronger. You will die today, and your power will be mine. As soon as she finishes, I get kicked in the back and fly into Celestia as Kilbeat stands next to my car smiling widely. I'll kill you and take the throne. And don't worry, Celestia. I'll make you suffer before I take the throne. I do believe that this little filly is your favorite student, am I right? She starts to walk slowly to Twilight, who is cowering in fear, too afraid to move, while Celestia and I are still getting back up.
I just want to throw in that, as far as my knowledge, I don't believe this is a character in the comics. It's not a character from the show. This is a fairly original character, as far as I know.
And from the Knight Rider perspective, Kilbeat doesn't really remind me of anyone from the Knight Rider series at all.
So I think it's fair to assume that this is, in fact, an original character.
Kudos to the author for that one.
You get points! Okay. Finally, Celestia and I regain our bearings just in time to look up and see Kilbeat holding Twilight by her head. I never know how she does it, but sometimes Kilbeat has hooves, sometimes she has hands. I have no idea how that works. Please let her go. He and I are the ones you want. Leave Twilight out of this, Celestia said with obvious concern in her voice. Kilbeat doesn't let go and just smirks deviously. If you want your precious student back, then give him to the old ruins of the Everfree Forest. There we will see who lives and who dies. She disappears and only her maniacal laughter can be heard. I'm running to my car, and he starts his 700 horsepower, 5.4 liter supercharged V8, making such a noise that Celestia flinches from it. She walks up to the window, of which is rolled down. Do you even know how to get to the Everfree Forest? She asked. I just shrugged my shoulders. Well, I can from Ponyville. I was planning on driving on the train tracks till I get there, then get to Everfree.
Well, I can teleport us there in an instant. Oh yeah, I forgot you could do that. How do you know so much about me and Equestria? You obviously are not from this world, she asked, giving me a look that says, give me the wrong answer, and when this is over, you're going to the moon. I can't explain that now. I would have to show you, but after we save Twilight. Now. The trunk on Kit opens, and I pull out 2 golden wristbands and put them on. Just a side note, Kit, that's spelled K-I-T-T, stands for Knight Industries 2000. And I think this is from the 2008 version of Knight Rider. So Kit, in this case, is Knight Industries 3000. Just in case if anybody wanted to know what Kit stood for. Well, I know we send his name 1,000 times.
Well, I take that as knowledge because, again, I know very little about Knight Rider.
Are you going to teleport us or not? A small tornado forms around my body, and when it disperses, I'm standing with a pair of white wings, white armor, and twin white swords in both hands. Celestia stands there in shock at my transformation. Oh, okay. Her horn glows and we arrive out to the ruins, the sight of which makes me nearly faint, yet again. Seeing a pattern here with the sights of Equestria, I'm standing in front of the ruins where the main 6 find the elements harmony.
Dear God, please don't let me be dreaming, because if I am, this is the cutest dream ever, I whisper to myself as we walk into the ruins. We walk in side by side as I am looking all around, making mental pictures of this moment. A maniacal laugh stops my sightseeing, as in a reenactment of how Twilight met Nightmare Moon here. Kilbeat steps up on the pedestal in a cloud of dark smoke. She laughs. Well, well, you two seem impatient to meet your doom. Celestia just glares at Kilbeat. Where is Twilight Sparkle? Relax, Cel. She's right there. Kilbeat points at a wall, and the smoke clears, revealing Twilight shackled to the wall with magic-resistant shackles.
If you two can defeat me, she will automatically be freed. That will never happen, she smirks. Celestia growls and charges Kilbeat's horn pointed forward as the two clashed, and I kid you not, Celestia took to the air and copied the battle she had, or will have, with Queen Chrysalis. Did I pronounce that right, Fanboy?
Chrysalis.
Copied the battle she had, or will have, with Queen Chrysalis. But this time, Celestia is victorious and stands over Kilby threateningly. Give Twilight back to me now! Kilby just smirks and disappears in a cloud of smoke, and we somehow are surrounded by forests, and after the trees walks the only pony that guarantees this is an illusion, Celestia's sister Luna. Celestia runs to her and tries to hug her, but Luna just turns away.
Why do you try to hug us? You banished us to the moon for 1,000 years. You obviously don't love us. You never loved us. Celestia is already in tears. Luna, I have missed you so much. I was foolish to send you away for so long. Please forgive me. Luna doesn't even turn around. No, we shall never forgive thee. If you missed me, why were we there for so long? Luna smiles evilly as Celestia falls to the ground crying, as more Lunas surround her, each with the same evil smile. I remember how Killbeat works, and run to Celestia's side. Celestia, this isn't real. Killbeat is trying to mess with your mind. This is an Ah! All at once, the Lunas fire a magic blast at me. The shockwave slams me into a nearby wall, cracking most of my armor and draining most of my energy as I groan to get back up. In an instant, Killbeat has one of her hands on my throat, choking me.
I told you today would be your end. Now goodbye, Michael Knight. Killbeat laughs manically as she tightens her grip on my throat as I reach out to Celestia, pleading for her help. Suddenly, something sparks in Celestia's eyes as her mood changes and she returns to her hooves. You are not my sister. For one, you would never attack an innocent being who was trying to help me. And another is that you're still on the moon. Unfortunately, now be gone, you foul creatures. Her horn glows as all four Lunas try to strike her, but Celestia quickly destroys them and charges at Killbeat. You will let Michael and Twilight go. You're a fool, Celestia. Killbeat's horn glows as she blasts Celestia to another wall. She laughs again. I've taken most of Michael's power. Now I have more power than even you. Equestria is mine.
As she goes back to choking me, Celestia and mine eyes meet and her horn glows along with my body as I feel my strength return to me and I kick Killbeat off me. What? What is going on? She fires two blasts from her horn at me that bounces off me as I stand there looking at my body as my armor changes from white to gold and I now have two sets of wings. No, I will not lose. It is my destiny to take over Equestria. She fires two more blasts at me. This power is amazing! I see the blasts create my wind swords, of which haven't changed, and deflect both the blasts. Killbeat, you prey on the fear of others for your own pleasure. It's time to put an end to you. Both of my sets of wings spread on full girth. Now, double wing tornado! From both the sets of wings, a tornado launched, drilling through Killbeat. No! It was my destiny! She screams as she fades from life into a huge hole in her midsection from the tornadoes. I run over to Celestia and fly over, and the now free Twilight back to the castle and put her in bed to rest as I return to Kit with Twilight following me.
Wow, what a change! I've never seen a being with two sets of wings. Yes, I read about this in the ruins where I got these powers. This is my commando form. It feels amazing. Small tornado forms around me, returning me to a normal person as I get in my car. Get some rest, Twilight. You need it after what happened today. She nods and lies down next to Kit as I close the scissor door and sleep in the driver's seat, waking up to the sight of Celestia talking to Twilight in front of my car. Good morning, Princess Celestia and Twilight Sparkle. Good morning. We were talking about you just now. Oh yeah? What about me? You're a departure from us. Twilight, if you please. Twilight's horn glows as the portal opens in front of me. Celestia bolts her boots to the portal.
There is your way home. You are free to leave. Thank you for freeing Twilight and saving me. If you want anything before you leave, please tell me. I start my engine, but hesitate to move forward to my portal home. I sigh and lean out the window. Can I stay? Excuse me? Celestia said while looking puzzled. Can I stay and learn more about Equestria? This is what I want. You are abandoning your world for our less advanced one? Yes. My world is corrupt and cruel. Here it's peaceful. It would be amazing to stay here. I would have to hide Kit, though. The portal closes.
Very well. If you want to stay, you may stay. You will live with Twilight and learn alongside her as my student. Thank you, Princess Celestia, I bow very gracefully. But what about my car? We will build a place for you to leave it, and we will find a way for you to call it, somehow, when you need it. I've got the calling part partially covered. Thank you again, Princess Celestia.
And that's the end of the story. Well, final thoughts. I think that it's a pretty standard crossover fanfic between two different franchises, especially for the whole human and Equestria thing of main character from certain franchise that has human characters coming to the pony world, except this one doesn't have them turn into ponies like a couple of them do. I thought it was okay. As a person who didn't really get a whole lot of Knight Rider references, I thought it was fine. I thought it did decently. Obviously, the author added a bunch of stuff, like the whole Michael being able to grow wings and stuff like that. But overall, it's fine. It was a passable little fanfic. There's only one chapter of it. It was written a long time ago, like it said, 2015. I thought it was fine. Shannon, what did you think?
As someone who's an outsider looking in, this was a pretty decent fanfic, I will agree to. As someone who's a fan of Knight Rider, there was a lot of inconsistencies, I think. For one thing, Kit can actually talk.
I was thinking about that because I remember you saying in one of your reviews that Kit was able to speak, so that part I was kind of confused why Kit didn't do much.
Yeah, he really didn't do anything, he was just there. Kit would have, like, more of an opinion on certain things, or, you know, why don't we do this, or mention to Michael in the beginning. Now, this is nitpicking, but Kit would obviously mention to Michael in the beginning of the story, you know, my sensors indicate there's a portal in front of us, or something like that. But other than that, other than the slight inconsistencies, it was a pretty decent story. Well put together.
Yep. So, that was Knight Rider of Equestria, and I am so glad that I was able to read this fan fiction with my good friend Shannon.
Thank you, Pony Fanboy. I'm a big fan, so it's definitely an honor to do this with you.
Well, it was great to, you know, two outsiders of two different fandoms coming together and reading a fan fiction that crosses them both together. As for who will be the next guest on the next Pony Fanboy Reads, we'll figure that out. If any of Wiz's fellow reviewers and content creators want to join, then just let us know and we'll find a fan fiction for both of us. But until then, I'm the Pony Fanboy, I fanboy for ponies, and this is...
Shannon from Shannon Reviews. Bye!
Bye!